Coach, how exciting is this back-to-back Elite Eights? I mean, it's a great time in program history and big win. And how do you keep this momentum going here?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's just a cool opportunity for these young ladies to keep playing with each other. And I think, like last year, that's kind of been their mentality down the stretch is, let's extend this season as long as we can just because they just love playing for each other, and they don't want that to end, especially our seniors, obviously. But, if you look at the beginning of the year, we knew we had a good team. We didn't know what the wins and losses would be, but it's a special group, and they've done a great job putting themselves in a position to go for a national championship at this point.
Being that it is the second time in a row you all have done this, how much different is it this time around with the players that have experienced this and know what to expect?
Well, it's a lot different for us as a staff, for sure, because we've been here before. We know what to expect. We were talking about it. We had a planning meeting earlier today, and last year we were just kind of throwing our hats at things, trying to figure out what we needed to do. This time we've been through it, and it gives us a little bit more comfort knowing what we're going into, and the girls as well. They've been here, done that, and there's a little bit of confidence running into that.
What have you seen from Georgetown?
Well, they're number 4 in the country. At this point, obviously, everybody's good, and they're a good team. Well coached. Dave's been there, I think, 15 years and has a lot of success there and has done a really good job. Obviously, they'll have the advantage of being at home, playing on their home field, which is a big advantage, which we know, obviously, very well. But a very well-coached team, very talented. They've got a kid that's got, I think, 19 goals on the season. That's an incredible amount of goals in a season for soccer. So very talented. We've got to continue to look at film. Obviously, we've just found out really yesterday that we'd be playing them. We've looked ahead a little bit, but not too much. Great on the counter, physical, tough, just a quality overall team.
Is there a sense of unfinished business at this point? Last year's first time in program history. Now you have that experience and almost feel like maybe you should come away with a win.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Honestly, we hadn't even talked about that. This team, we've talked from the beginning of the year, this is a different team. Last year's experience was that team, and this is a whole different team. Yes, some similar players, but we lost a lot of key players as well. We lost one of the best players in the country, Aline Molina, that is with the Brazilian national team now. So we lost some talent, Precious Akinurige. We didn't know where we'd be this year, but the girls have stepped up. So a different team, similar mentality, but no one's looking back going, okay, we owe one to the NCAA. We got the Elite Eight last year. What can we do? It's one game at a time, and really an opportunity to keep playing together, and they're going to put their best foot forward and compete.
What's the
Was there
mindset in the
anything
locker room?
specific that y'all learned in last year's game other than maybe not trying to go 10 down or a player down?
Yeah, we like to keep 11 on the field for as many minutes as possible this year. I think what we learned was we just gained some experience of being at a different venue, being at a different conference. We hadn't really played any ACC schools prior to last year going into Duke. I think it really helped us this year playing a more challenging schedule as well. We didn't have a real challenging schedule last year. So I think going into this year, we've got a lot more experience with these veteran players of having played a really tough schedule this year and having the Duke and the USC and Notre Dame teams at the end of last year gives us a ton of experience and I think some confidence to understand we belong here. And you're looking at the Final Eight and you're looking at perennial powerhouses everywhere on that chart, and we feel like we fit in.
What's the mindset in the locker room right now?
They're last night obviously they were ecstatic, just excited to continue to play, continue the season. But now they're focused. We always give them an hour or two to really enjoy the moment, and then we've got to focus and start preparing for the next game because we don't want to miss an opportunity.
You wouldn't think a number 4 team would play desperate, but do you think you might expect that because Georgetown hasn't lost a game at all this year?
Well, we have a similar environment, last night at our place. We were going into last night being undefeated at home this year, so we understand that feeling. I know from our standpoint it wasn't something we really talked about. So I don't know what their mentality is going to be, but I do think the target's on their back. They're number 4 in the country. They're hosting. That the target's on their back. We're just, our job is to go in and do what we need to do, compete, fight hard, and come out with a result.
Is this the new Thanksgiving tradition, playing soccer on Thanksgiving week?
Absolutely. You always want to be with family on Thanksgiving, and we're doing it again this year.
Paul, as a coach, did you set any kind of goal like this? I mean, potentially even getting to the Women's Cup. I mean, was that a goal? Was that a bar?
We say before the season, if you come here and you don't want to win a Big 12 championship and you don't want to compete for national championships, you're not in the right place, because that's absolutely what we want to do here. We want to be consistent in that year after year. But after we say that, we don't talk about it anymore because it's day in and day out work that goes into that. If we look too far ahead, we're going to trip over ourselves and never reach those goals. So right now, obviously, our next goal is our championship match right now is Georgetown, and we've approached postseason that way. The next game is our championship match, and that's where we are this weekend. So Georgetown is our championship match. We've got to get through them to be able to do anything else. We're only guaranteed one more, so that's how we've got to continue to approach it. We're doing one day at a time, one game at a time, and that mentality can't change. So we can't get so close to a national championship game that we don't continue to approach things the way we've been approaching it all year long.
Paul, how does your style of play, your strengths, how does that match up with Georgetown?
I think really well. I think the way that we play matches up really well against really anybody in the country, because I don't think there are a lot of teams that do what we do the way that we do it. And I think that it's a tough thing to prepare for, especially this late in the year. I know Georgetown is familiar with us. We faced, at least the coach is, we faced them in 2012, and I think it was the round of 32, and beat them in Carolina. So they're familiar with us, the coach is at least. But I do think that, unless you faced us one-on-one, I think we're tough to prepare for. So I think the way that we play and our mentality and just the mentality of these girls gives us a great opportunity to do something special this weekend.
Paul, you talked about it the other night, but this group of seniors, you recruited them coming off of the championship in 12.
Yeah.
How much have they meant in terms of maybe getting it back to that level?
They've been a crucial piece of this. They committed in 2012, came in 2015, really set a tone for this crew, this group now, set a legacy in place. A lot of these kids started as freshmen, so the amount of experience that they have as seniors is unparalleled, really, as a group. And some of the pieces we've added in along the way have been tremendous, and I think they've allowed us to recruit better and better players. Like I've said a million times, we're not recruiting better people. We've always had great people here, but the soccer piece of it continues to get better and better, and they've created a great legacy coming in as freshmen and setting some really good standards that we're going to continue to implement once they're gone. And hopefully that's not for a couple more weeks.
Is that a grass field up there?
It is a grass field, yep. So put little pieces of Betty Lou Maysfield in my pocket after the game the other night. We're going to take that with us and sprinkle it out there on their field. Probably help us a little bit maybe. That and all the prayers that are coming from Waco, Texas, probably more than anything.